What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 12 of my Total War Warhammer 3 Mallobaude Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, we had some good old-fashioned peasant action in the seas as we had the peasant mobs from one of our vassals, I think it was Longyi, take on an island, which was a really fun and unusual sort of fight compared to the ones that we've been fighting. Otherwise, we took on Throg yet again with Veronique this time around and defeated his army and are ready to go and probably sack at least a few of the Norscan territories. Similar to Ulthuan, unfortunately, the frozen climbs are not ones that our faction is super happy about, so as to whether we, maintain any settlements out there, that remains to be seen. But we can certainly use them for some XP and some gold. Admittedly, it may be more useful to send more armies into the Empire because, well, I'm not sure you could call it the Empire anymore because it's pretty much fallen, but anyway. Actually, speaking of the Empire, I think that we're probably just going to attack Karl with Jasper here. There's no guarantee that we'll ever catch him with Mallobaude since he already ran away once, and I'm kind of disinclined to just, sort of chase him down. Yeah, it's conceptually a good idea to have the two fight, but we've already defeated Bellicor, and this guy's army is kind of weak compared to Mallobaude, so it might give Jasper a little bit more of a challenge. Anyway, let's see what else we got to do first, and then we'll, decide for certain. First of all, Cedric, I would like you to go this way and into Toranlek, because we wanted to pick up this island, and, well, any island we can reach, really. And it's one of them. And there we go, you can just sit there for now. Next up, we've got Dorian Armistead, who I believe was in exact range of this fell cargo. He's going to take a little bit of attrition after, but, we don't really care. Alrighty, and arms and armor for you, and there's a little Chevalier de Lyonesse army out here. I imagine they are actually possibly doing a fairly good job fighting on these guys if they're keeping them busy. I wonder if we should let go of this army and then take it back immediately. Maybe we should. Alright, go here. All the way out here. Yeah, you're gonna suffer attrition, but there may be more islands out here to pick up, so we don't really care if you die either. So return loaned army, and then...
Do you know who I am?
What I should have checked, I should have checked whether the AI would take less attrition here. Or more.
Lord of Bretonnia.
Actually, well, no. 87. And 83. Aha. I wonder if that's a cheat that the AI gets, or whether they have a tech that gives that to them. Interesting nonetheless. Anyway, Jasper, hold on for a second, buddy. Florence, you, I believe, are going to go and grab a Sea Corpse here and loot the carcass at really close to... Oh! They have a Rotting Leviathan. Ooh, actually, this will be worth fighting. We have a Battle Pilgrims. You are of what... oh, your heavens. Huh. This might actually be a fairly tough fight. But at least we don't have piles of peasant mobs this time around, so we're in significantly better shape than last episode, minus the level 2 Lord. Go. Alrighty, here we go. For Bretonnia indeed, and I want to take a look at what the Battle Pilgrims look like in this color scheme. Pretty dang good. Once again, I gotta say, I really like the black and yellow color scheme. It also works with, just generally speaking, anybody who has any other kind of dark colors or the white colors as well. Pretty not universal. Well, universal. Let's go with universal. Anyway, here we go. Should be a decently tough fight, in particular due to the Rotting Leviathan, which we don't have an easy way to deal any significant damage to. 150 armor, and we've got 3 armor piercing on our one and only range unit, so can't be relying on it. We've got our 2 units of Knights in the Trees, both the Questing Knights and the Knights Errant, who I'm sure will come in very handy. Armor piercing on the Questing Knights in particular, and going to be very, very nice. And, it does look like our mounted yeoman archers are going to take a volley from the zombie-powered gunnery mob, which didn't appear to be in range, but they got their volley off regardless, so well. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off by sending the dead forward. The zombies are going to start taking hits from the enemy zombies, and then our living units will move in behind them after they've absorbed the damage. Alrighty, and I'm sure that big old crabby boy is going to crash right through those zombies, and we're going to send the spear-wielding men-at-arms at it, while we get ready to send our knights in to fight the other units. Our knights errant are going to head directly for the zombie-powered gunnery mob, while our questing knights are going to move to go after the zombie-powered gunnery mob with hand cannons, because those hand cannons are going to be a lot more devastating. Anyway, we're going to charge right through the unit of zombie-powered gunnery mobs, who take about 50% of their damage on the charge, and then smash into the back line of other enemies. Ooh, nice big old volley from the hand cannons just before we charge on in, doing about 30 HP, or 30% HP damage to the questing knights. Pretty darn solid. I'm still not used to how quickly everything melts away in vanilla. Everything seems so fragile that you sneeze at it and it explodes, and not in a good way. Anyway, the depth guard have closed the distance with the battle pilgrims and the crypt horrors. Let's say crypt hulks alike, and the crypt hulks have lost about half of their HP, while the depth guard have lost about the same. We're going to back the crypt hulks off and allow the battle pilgrims to take a little bit of damage, while the hulks then move in and start smashing the enemy from the back. It's not that shit. There you go. Anyway, with the armor piercing, the depth guard should fall reasonably quickly, and we'll help them along by buffing up our crypt hulks with a nice harmonic convergence. And there we go. The main line is still holding, both ours and the enemies, but eventually our knights will have done enough cycle charging repeatedly to the enemy's rear to do enough damage to force them to melt away. Alrighty, quick little charge. Probably should have actually allowed these guys to build up their momentum, as I just backed them off slightly and then charged back in, but it's mostly the morale shock that we were after here, and it looks like it succeeded, as both of the zombie units begin melting away. We're going to help a few more zombie units along with a nice wind blast through the enemy zombie-powered deckhand mob ranks, and the bounce power remains at 50-50. But it won't be there for long. The Rotting Leviathan has only taken about 20% of its damage, but at this point I'm just not thinking that it's likely to be destroyed. But all the other units are pretty much done for. One last charge from the Knights Errant to help out the questing knights in taking out that last zombie unit. The depth guard melt away. I believe the enemy lord is still fighting, surrounded by battle pilgrims who are not doing enough armor-piercing damage, I guess, to deal with it. Actually, their armor-piercing damage isn't too bad at 10, but I guess they're not breaking through the melee defense of the enemy lord. All good. We'll have a few other units to join in on the fun. Crypt horrors or crypt hulks will charge the enemy lord, and we'll send one of the knightly units in, while everybody else starts surrounding that rotting leviathan. In theory, the Rotting Leviathan should start melting away if the enemy lord dies, because we do still have a fair amount of units on field. As to whether that is actually going to be the case, well, that will remain to be seen. Alright, zombies fighting together with men-at-arms and battle pilgrims, and now questing knights. Everybody moving on in, and let's see if they can bring the big beastie down. 50% HP on it, and actually roughly about 50% HP on the enemy lord as well. I guess they're about even. Well, somebody's gonna have to start crumbling away sooner or later, and just gonna have to wait and see who. This is a pretty fun fight, I gotta say, though. And yeah, they're still hanging around at 50 and 50. We don't have any sort of, well, we have one ringer in the form of the questing knights, but nobody who's going to be super good at dishing out damage to a single entity here. And of course the Rotting Leviathan is going to keep on dishing out plenty of damage. 163 kills and 10,000 damage on it so far. And remember, the damage and numbers aren't as inflated as they are in SFO due to the fragility of all units, so 10k is very, very solid. I remember the Rotting Leviathans being kind of the bane of my existence in my Skull Taker campaign, which was also vanilla, and because Skull Taker sent out all those little sort of mini spawned armies, I forget what they were called, the Blood Hosts, and a lot of them were being used to gather islands, and every time I ran into one of these darn Rotting Leviathans, it took so dang much effort to bring them down. Especially with the Coronate forces from the Blood Hosts, which didn't have much in the way of units that are particularly good against these guys. Anyway, at last the enemy suffers enough damage for both the Rotting Leviathan and the enemy lord to crumble away, and the battle and island are ours. Alright, there we go. A very fun fight, and the darn rotting Leviathan took so much effort to bring down. We used all the arrows from the mounted yeoman archers on it, who only managed to deal 3.8k damage despite running out of ammunition, but it makes sense. It's a heavily armored, missile-resistant sort of big boy, and without significantly more armor-piercing range damage, or, you know, anti-large specialists, we were having a difficult time with it. On the bright side, we have our own ringer in the form of the questing knights, who dished out much damage, and most of their losses was while they later on surrounded the rotting Leviathan. So yeah, anyway, again, it's not really our losses. We're just gathering money on islands using our allies' stuff, and I'm happy with that. A free dreg, a free 8k. Materials at sea is what we really want, though. Speaking of, if you go out to sea, would you be able to heal? A little bit. Not much. I feel like this army might not be viable enough for another island, although I guess it depends on which kind of island it runs into. We'll keep it for the turn or so, but we'll see about giving it back shortly. Anyway, Tech Thief and Grave Robber, I'm going to continue leaving you alone, but you're going to have to start thieving again very soon. Francoise, I'm gonna say go here for now. We're probably gonna send you up northward to Troll Fjord. I'm still salty that that one island got taken by Throg, but well, good. Go past it a little bit and just keep away from Dastan. And you should be able to sack at least one place before you're out of the running. Jasper. Alright, I think we're good to go. And you know what? We wanted to wait and eventually raise a second Terrorgeist in here. I think we're just gonna do it. Yeah, it's going to take us to very negative, but at this point I feel like we should just do it. Because I want this army to go, to leave here, and never come back. Minus, I might want to get a unit of Blood Knights or a unit of, actually probably Hellsteed Riders to have a sort of air force with it. So yeah, we'll probably put that in this army, but later on. Let's get the second Terrorgeist, let's get the second Mortis Engine, and the army is complete. More or less. These two will be replaced by Necromancers, one of you will be replaced by Hellsteed Knights, and then the other one will be replaced by a Necromancer. Wait, no, wait, 2 Necromancers, 1 Hellsteed Knight, and 1... something. Or we could double up on the Hellsteed Knight. I'll think about it. Either way, let's just have you kill Karl. I'm pretty sure Karl's buff is faction-wide as well, and I really don't want him to, you know, get completely wiped out off the map before we get it on at least somebody. I believe it's 7%... increased experience to all lords. Anyway, let's get to it.
Make the Grail companions proud, for still they watch over you.
Alrighty, the Grail Companions watch over you? Yeah, maybe, but it's the Black Grail Companions, and they're watching over you to, well, see that they don't have to assassinate you. Anyway, okay, good lord, it's hard to set the camera on the Hellsteed, because it just sort of goes up and down in the air a lot. But anyway, these guys look pretty darn great. I'm loving the, the Vampire Lord variant for the Bretonnians. Anyway, we'll see how well we do against Karl. He's got a solid rank of ranged units in the form of those Hawkland long rifles, backing up a couple of Hawkland long rifles, backing up, I believe, like 8 units of Empire State troops, as well as like 3 or 4 units of Regiments of Renown. And yeah, there's a lot of potential damage out of there. Anyway, we're going to have to hit this army from multiple directions at once so that we don't take too much range damage. And so we're going to start off over on the right flank, wherein we're going to move on in with the Vampire Lord towards the Hawkland long rifles, summon zombies on top of them, and have him start attacking them. And there we go. This will prevent them from firing. In the meantime, our 2 Terrorgeists are going to annoy the enemy Stubborn Bulls and other range units. Well, Stubborn Bulls are a melee unit, but anyway, other cavalry units, I should say. And then get ready for Karl himself to land with the Deathclaw. So it'll be our Lord and both of the Terrorgeists with their anti-large versus Karl. At least over on the right flank. On the left flank, we got a couple more of the enemy cavalry units, against whom we will move a couple of our units of Black Knights with lances and barding. Their anti-large should allow them to do a decent bit of work here. And smash into those Knights of the Everlasting Light. and give chase to the Outriders with grenade launchers, who we definitely want to keep away from our main line, who is rapidly hurtling towards the enemy. Speaking of, our Rose Lances are going to charge right into and hopefully through the Sigmar's Sons and the Great Swords here, though if a significant portion of them does get trapped, unfortunately it will mean they'll have to deal with a lot of armor-piercing damage. There we go, lots of undead Bretonnian calves smash into the enemy's back line by moving through the enemy infantry, while we start focusing Karl down with both Terrorgeists and the Lord, who I might keep on a Hellsteed if we put Hellsteed Riders into this particular army. Of course, Karl on his Griffin is going to dwarf the Lord, but that's alright with both of the Terrorgeists, so we should have the advantage against Karl. Just gotta be careful about those grenade volleys from the Bordermen. I also got used to the Bordermen being a infantry unit rather than a cavalry unit, but anyway, I digress. Karl is down to about 20% of his HP and is not long for this world, and our main line has arrived. The piles of Graveguard with halberds moving to distract as many of the enemy units as possible, and keep cutting down those great swords, etc. Karl will fall at last, and with him the hopes of his army are pretty much dashed. Most of the enemy range units are engaged, and those that are not are trying to escape the zombies and whatnot. We're using our zombies to give chase to range units, because the other units like the Graveguard can actually dish out damage directly in combat. So I waste them when the zombies will do for chasing. And with that, the enemy army is, by the looks of it, pretty much done for. The Sigmar's Sons are, of course, a unbreakable unit, so they and the Flagellants will fight to the last. But their last is going to be showing up pretty darn soon, as there aren't too many of them left on the field already. Still a nice little fight against Karl. And hey, the Empire and Bretonnia have clashed in the past, and well, now the undead Bretonnia and the Empire clash as well. Here comes the Mortis engine crashing into the back of the Sigmar's Sons, who will be destroyed, leaving only one unit of Flagellants while we destroy the rest of the enemy. And we'll charge right through them with our Rose Lances, and then back them up with that nice Mortis engine. I love the purple color scheme on the Rose Lances. I know I've said it before, but that combined with the balefire glow of the eyes and the sort of fiery feet and whatever hooves of the horses, plus the matching with the Mortis engine, it's all pretty great. Anyway, with that, the Flagellants are destroyed, and the battle in the final form, or near final form, I should say, for this army is ours. We're just going to take a little bit of time to heal up while we chase the enemy down. Alright, there we go. A little bit of damage to the army, but nothing of any significance. The biggest of the damage was to Jasper and the Terrorgeists, who, well, they had to fight Karl, and he was bonking them pretty hard. Alas, for him, we were just able to heal these guys up, even though one of the Terrorgeists was down very low, and Jasper reached his healing cap. Anyway, we could heal the army to full. I'd love the 1600 gold, but at the same time, we're gonna suffer attrition this turn, so I think we gotta take the heals. Sad as that may be. Heals it is. Alrighty, and then we got the defeat trait. And unit XP plus 10%. Oh, it is for Lord's army only. Oh, and that's it. That's kind of terrible. I mean, it's fine, but it's only unit XP and not Lord XP. I don't even care. I'm happy we didn't go after this with Mallobaude. That would have been a waste. You're gonna suffer attrition no matter where you go, aren't you? Well, that's also irritating. But it is what it is. Just go up this way to Arnau, unless this guy takes it, and if he does, we'll go past Arnau and see what else we can grab up there. All right. Anything else we need to do other than building? Building doesn't look like it, so let's building. First of all, Lich Yards. We need these. We need those Necromancer capacities. So that's pretty critical. We'll leave this alone for now, although it is probably worth it to get the Swamp Pear Lodge up to level 2 here to get it a little bit more cash for us. Aquitaine, you're fine. There's no need to upgrade those to level 3. Same with the farms, I think. At 4.2k, it's insanely expensive. We could upgrade the port at the Isle of Wights, which will pay for itself decently quickly, but then we need to also upgrade the City Watch. I guess we'll do both. And we may as well build the Swamp Air Lodge here as well, the snail hunting ground. Do we want to upgrade the Citadel of Lead? I don't know if it can hold. I kind of don't want to overinvest into Albion, because it's not really a territory that we care that much about, but... well. Trying to Kurnos, maybe another place to build a Lich Yard. Yeah, fine. We'll do... oh. We could swap out of Oppressed Mortals for a turn, switch to Foster Terror for a bit. Maybe we'll do that. Torquerale, you're fine as you are, and then Fort Bergbray is not something we care about. Alrighty, at least for now. Somebody suggested we try to vassalize Mr. Dreadfleet. There's a couple of reasons, I just want to address this, that it wouldn't work. One, our vassals and other undead units despise each other, despite the fact that it's supposed to undeadenize the Bretonnian vassals, but the... negative attitude is so ridiculously large that they would end up hating each other and hating us, making this not possible. But, speaking of not possible, it's quite literally impossible. You can't vassalize these guys at all. So, yeah, no dice. I'm actually not sure that we can vassalize anybody except for Bretonnian factions. I don't see vassal options here. I don't see them on Cetra. Yeah, it's probably just not possible for this faction, which, you know, I just gotta deal with it. Anyway, registered draft is coming up. Ooh, upkeep production for peasants. That's good. We are using a fair bit of them. Let's end the turn. I would like to see what Thought the Unclean does. I assume he's gonna go after Ubersreich. The Empire Imperials are pretty much done for, so we can more or less just ignore... oh! They're... huh. Maybe they sacked Ubersreich? I don't know what happened there. But I do know that they did nothing. Weird. Oh well. And Madeline, what are you doing here? What is this? Heraldry of Bastan. No, we're not doing anything about Bastan. Sacrifice to Mathland, Wild Hunt. There's that registered draft. And... yes, we could grab Turning Knights of the Realm. Again, we only have 3 units of Black Grail Knights, which is great, but it doesn't do much for us. We could increase our income very, very slightly via tribute to vassals, but it's not really all that much. Just because we don't get that many of them. Anything else that will help with our economy? Let's see here. I do like the growth out of almshouses, but it isn't that much. I did want to get bigger shovels. And I think that's it for anything economic that would be of significant help. There is obviously Soulbinder, but we're not using any of the units that would benefit from it as yet. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. Let's go bigger shovels for the slight amount of increase from farms, though funnily enough we've been using the snails now more than the farms. Maybe we go for swamp air training instead then. Although it still won't be all that much in the way of benefit. You know what? I'm changing my mind. We're going to go for casualty replenishment trait and immunity to psychology on peasantry, but generally speaking, that is pretty useful. You are going to go to Helmgart real quick. This is... I mean, it's decently well defended, but I think we're past the point of needing to fight anything more than 2 stacks at a time with Mallobaude, especially since he has Stone Shaker. He'll just break through the walls instantly. Yeah, I just auto-resolve it. Yeah. It wouldn't be enough of a chance to him, and we don't care about these settlements, so we will sack the place and then hopefully immediately capture it. Hey, free Mortal Informer and a free Black Periapt. Nice. Corpse cart for Sebastian of the Braid, and you are going to occupy the place. Lovely, and we don't really care about it. You can go for, I guess, Foster Terror, and we're not going to waste money repairing it either. Alright, Jasper. Oh, really? Really? Huh. So, did you see how there was a nearly full stack of rebels out of Gorcel? A nearly full stack lost to a bunch of men-at-arms and stuff? Of course it didn't. It just disappeared. So I guess the AI oftentimes seems to get a cheat in that way too. It's kind of obnoxious, actually. Because then what is the point of, you know, forcing rebellions if they're just going to disappear like that without ever doing anything? Kind of silly. And there's no way that it would have lost, unless Madeline... no, Madeline didn't take them out, so yeah. Whatever. Not like we care, but it's just silly. Anyway, Francois, you are still heading northward. That obviously hasn't changed. This is an island, is it? No. Could use a few more islands before we let you go. And then, Veronique, I guess we could send you up here. I was kind of doing the same thing with Jasper, but alas, go out to sea, and then you can follow along. We'll see for how, well, long. Alright, gotta have these armies actually do stuff. Cedric, I believe you were in range of an island, no? Yes, go here. It's a remnants of battles, so we don't need to fight. Oh, I should have kept you in march stance, but all good. Hall of True Silver, please. Free Iron Curse icon, which is actually a decent find for you because you're on that corpse guard. In march stance, you won't be able to land, but get ready to. And we'll just keep an eye out for more islands up here. I guess we could move up here if we really wanted to. The other option would be to just go all the way up to Phoenix Gate and then take these guys out for good. Maybe even trade their territory to these guys for money. Though, how much they actually care about the how much I actually care about those territories as in the fortresses, I don't know. Say corpse. Alright, let's see if you can do that. Hopefully auto-resolve that. You, I fear, won't be able to take another one, but we'll just sort of try to find one. Who knows? It might be one where we don't have to fight. Alright, looking like that. We got a fell cargo, which is a fight, I believe. Well, if you die, you die. Again, not our units, not our faction, not our problem. 3 turns remaining. I think you have to start stealing tech again. Of course, and that's why you have to start stealing tech again at 3 turns remaining, because clearly you got more work to do. Where did... Huh. Where did their main stack go? Oh, it's a bit of a shame. Alrighty, ooh, let's also double check Diplo real quick in case there's anything of any kind of use. Wintertooth wants peace. I think we want to sack a couple more of their territories before we peace out with them. And I think also that we just gotta do building, and then we get on the turn. Alright, so we'll ignore you two. Coast of Lyonesse, our money-making territory, still making plenty of cash. I'd love to build the Vampire's Keep to get access to Hellsteed Knights, but it's super expensive and probably not worth our time. Bordelot. I mean, in theory, we want the witch houses everywhere. We want the White King buildings everywhere. Actually, you'll have room for 3, and then 2 of them have to be these, most likely. Well, actually, I don't think we care that much about the Forbidden Library. It gives us a little bit of money generation, but it costs so much to build it. It's kind of not worth it, and funnily enough, it doesn't give a faction-wide recruit rank for Banshees like the Lich Yards do, so, pretty right? I'm gonna say, but yes to the Vampire Keeps, but no to the Vampire Keeps right now. I guess we'll upgrade Flint. Wait, how long until What's-His-Face is back? Oh, 1 turn. Okay, so we can build stuff here next turn. Maybe minus the Lich Yard. I want to upgrade this right now because we need it. We need those Necros. Tordranil and Nagaroth, we probably won't be moving all the way out here, so I guess we're free to upgrade the Murky Harbor and the City Watch. Although, actually, no, wait a turn, because we can upgrade them cheaper, slightly cheaper with Cedric. We will, however, build the first level of the Snail Hunting Grounds, because it's cheap enough that it makes no difference anyway. Kuhan, you're ready for the next tier. I guess we could start on this now. And then by the time that our construction reduction guy gets here, we'll be able to reduce a bunch more structures. That's probably the way to do it. Conquata, you're still a green territory, so we could upgrade the Swampere Lodge and make more money out of you. Probably a good idea. Alright, let's do that and fine. Let's upgrade the Citadel of Lead. 4.4k is insanely expensive, but it is what it is. And then you have switched to Foster Terror, which means we can go for the Charnel Pit. I would love to upgrade the Swampere Lodge, but I don't think we can do it right now, because we used up all of our money. And I don't care enough about Torcarali or Mistnar.
You honor me.
Are you running from the rats, or are you going for this island? Also, do we have anybody else that we can use to grab this island? Huh, these guys don't seem to be building any more armies. Hopefully they're not broken. If the faction breaks, we'll just confederate them and kill them thereby. This might be their only army, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's skip, and turn. Yeah, we really need a couple more provinces that generate the kind of cash that we're generating out of our main province, or at least like 80% of that kind of cash. We gotta get more armies out there. I still got so many more army compositions to try out. But we've also got a lot of territory within the Empire that we're going to be claiming slowly but surely, and that'll be nice. And oh, there's another level to the Sword of Cain. Oh, good lord. Another 5% upkeep reduction, and... oh man, keep it. Minus 1.5k. And yes, we absolutely don't need the Sword of Cain. I'm doing this just for fun. Sword of Cain dominating. There you go, buddy. Alright, go to Uber's right place, and then occupy directly. See if we can't find some more rats around here. Auto-resolve, I mean after. Occupy. Alright, a treasurer and a warpstone hunter, but in vanilla there isn't really any need to keep, you know, units and territories like that. No. They were not able to take our now, so you can take our now then. And you can do it our now. Auto-resolve. This is medium casualties. I kind of don't like that. Okay, I'm just gonna hope that a full stag doesn't show up and kill you after, because this is a waste of time. Alrighty, Chaos Breaker. I'm actually really shocked that like, this is a good army. Like, a really good army. What are you talking about, auto-resolve? Weird. Weird, but whatever. Let us get you some stuff. We got 3 points now. We have Damned Host, and we got enough knights that it probably warrants leveling them, so let's go for Dread Knights. Like so. And this levels the Living Knights too. Not that they're in this army, but you know. You two. Is that an island? No, every time I see this thing, it fools me. Anyway, you're gonna go to Troll Fjord. Oh, there's a little island there, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable with how close it is to... oh. Damn. Yeah, we won't be able to take it with the defender there. Not a good enough little army here, unfortunately. Well, then... we could sail out here, but that'll identify Dark Elves, which, you know, historically... not so friendly with Bretonnia. What do we do with you? We could sail on by and grab the island. I won't think about it. Either way, you two are gonna move this way. Together. And we're gonna keep them together because this army is damaged and I'm too lazy to go and heal it. Oh, Ellendelling's kicking still. Good job. Alright, would be nice if you could heal at sea at all, but that's not happening by the looks of it. Anyway, Jasper, you heal there. Has our Lich Yard finished? It has not. We could really use another Necro. But I don't think we can build a Lich Yard while, you know, the Sword of Cain keeps screwing up all of our cash. But it is what it is. You want us to kill this? Okay, well, it's probably not gonna happen, but we'll take the mission anyway. And then later on it might demissionify, that's a word.
Your behest?
You know what? Get out of march stance or full speed stance, just in case. If this guy wants to attack us in the water, that's a little bit better than attacking the garrisoned location. Alrighty, and I believe that is... okay, not it. I completely lied. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, Cedric. You could attack Destan Cold Eye, but it would mean severe damage to your army, and I think I'd rather go to Phoenix Gate right now without spending 8 turns healing, so let's land you at Toranlek. We have, what, 3 more turns until we can redeclare war on these guys? 3 more turns. Meaning you just gotta sit here for a bit. Alright, well, sit there for a bit and then get ready to attack these guys as soon as you're ready. I wanted to upgrade you, but it's now too costly to do so, so we're just gonna ignore you. Florence and Co. You're gonna go here. Depending on what kind of stuff we have here, we may... oh, it's not a fight. Alright, grab barrels or... grab arms and armor, whatever. Grab something. And just keep moving. Find another island. And same with you, Dorian. Materials at sea would have been so great, but alas. And this is a Percha Carcass, we got a Pyrrhic Victory! Alright, not gonna waste our time fighting this, so let's just... huh? You said Pyrrhic Victory... you said Pyrrhic Victory game, why... ah, man, come on. I guess it's a mod thing, huh? Wait, did our income? Wait. Minus 270. A moment. Return loaned army. Okay, but then why did... okay, I don't know what the heck happened there. Because, right, it significantly changed as soon as one of our loaned armies died, but we don't care about loaned army. I don't know what the heck. Whatever. I'm just gonna ignore that. Anyway, I'm salty about the thing with the lies. It said victory, and then it promptly let our guys die. Oh well. You're gonna need to move up to Blackstone Post and then loop back around to Kuhan for when it's done. And then maybe, well, no, still 12 turns until Marienburg. Although we do have Arn now, we want to build defenses there. It's actually fairly cheap, let's do that. Alrighty. That looks good, and we need you to keep tech thieving, or actually succeed at tech thieving. Alright, there you go. And I guess the other guy needs to as well. Costly though it may be. And steel tech from Karak as well. Alright, come on man, don't be failing now. It ain't so great. At least the elves will be... I was about to say the elves will be somewhat happy about this, but not so much. They are disliking our attacks on Reichland, most likely. Well, whatever. I note that the rats are not... They didn't even take Brienne. There's no defenders there. Huh. Useless rats. What are you doing? Not that it's a problem for us. Anyway, at least our income's slightly positive for now. For how long, though, that remains to be seen. Skip, 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 skip. Minus the commandment available here, we will obviously go into Foster Terror, as one does. I'm almost tempted to see whether giving up this loaned army would help, but it's gone in 2 turns anyway, so let's move forward with it. At least for now. Or for a bit. Faction destroyed Varg. Huh. Norse confections dying, that's potentially interesting. Wonder what's going on up there. I wonder how Kislev is doing. I assume they're all dead because obviously there's a lot of enemies that broke through Kislev into the Empire proper. But who knows? Yeah, Varg destroyed. Wounded tech. Oh, you gotta be frickin' kidding me. Okay, well, it is what it is. Mallobaude. Possessed the Sword of Cain for too long. Ah, Antiora. That's a shame. I didn't even know this was a thing, but it's all good. I usually put the sword back because it's a huge debuff, like a huge pile of faction-wide debuffs and basically barely any benefit. Because again, your legendary lord pretty much never needs this. But anyway, you're gonna go to Karak Azgaraz. 5k sack value, pretty solid. Oh, and it's a defended place as well. Alright, this actually looks like it'll be a fight worth fighting. Alright, we'll do that in a second. Let's see what else we got, though. Alright, let us move you as a scout. I just want to see what's going on up here. There is the Altar of the Crimson Harvest, but it's barely defended. It's not like we need you for this. You know what? Go back. Alright, 141. And it goes up to 876. So borrowing armies from allies now costs you an insane amount of cash. Okay. Is it me or should it not be doing that? I'm just now thinking that maybe we shouldn't borrow armies, and if we don't end up borrowing armies from these guys, I'm not sure that we need them. Go figure. Oh, it's minus 40 diplomatic relations with all factions now, rather than minus 20, which is why the Wood Elves are hating on us. I mean, so is everybody else, but that ain't great. It ain't great. Everybody will end up attacking us, but that was always kind of going to be the case, so... okay, what we do want is some money to upgrade the City Watch here. That would be real swell. But we'll deal with it anyway. You are going to go up to Blackstone Post. Grave Robber. Try not to fail this time. Good job. No. What, do you think you succeed one time and you get a corpse card? No. No corpse card for you. Alright, and anybody else? Alright, so Franz. Now Capitano Sissoko is here. Damn these rogue armies. You know what? I think, again, if we want to save our cash, we're going to move you away from all of this. And then we're going to return you. 986. 1732. Oh wow, I should not have bothered with these guys. Although, admittedly, you're a strong enough army that you can gather islands, but there's no islands in close proximity anymore, so we're gonna have to wait. Might be better off just getting a proper sort of stack of our own to send after islands. I see some down here, but nothing like a Skull Island. I can't believe how much money these guys were costing us.
Loyal to the lion.
Feels like it does disincentivize, you know, using those guys like that, doesn't it? Is it just me? Anyway, we got a new necromancer. I don't care which one because we need one on field, so we're going to get the disciplined one. Clovis, you need to go join Jasper immediately. That also means we have no cash, so Alcassin stay there, and then... Oh, damn it, I forgot that we were attacking. My bad, guys, my bad. Declare war from Legion of Chaos. Well, yeah, everybody hates us, sure. That's fine. This is kind of a fight everybody sort of campaign, just because we can. I guess we can hope that the Empire sallies out of Karak Azgaraz, and if they don't, we'll just attack them ourselves. They won't sally out. Cowards. Come on, Boris. This was your one opportunity to look better than Karl. And in his absence, maybe take the reins and actually be Emperor. But alas, you will not achieve your ambitions because you will now face Mallobaude. Deadly Blade, please. Alright, do we need to level everybody else up? I mean, we could. Yeah, we'll do it later. It's not like it's needed for this fight, except maybe the Necromancer because he's low level, but everybody else is high level, so yeah. Well, let's do this. Let's go for Raise Dead, Evasion, and... You know what? I changed my mind. Let's get 2 points in Van Hel's because we don't have Van Hel's otherwise. And it's not like he's staying in this army. He's going to be going into the other army. Anyway, let's do this. And close victory, medium casualties, go. Alrighty, here we go. Mallobaude may not have gotten to fight Karl in a one-on-one, but let's face it, with the unnecessary buff that he has from his, from the Sword of Cain, it wouldn't have been a fair fight anyway. Here we go. And you know, the brigands with their sort of tattered, blood-red cloaks actually do look pretty good with our Black Grail Knights and stuff. There's some solid, solid sort of matching going on. Anyway, we're going to start the battle off by, you know, picking a random target and getting that Sword of Cain ability off. Madness, well no, the Madness of Cain is the, I don't remember the name of the Vortex. Oh, it's just called Sword of Cain. Yeah, well, fair enough. Anyway, while Mallobaude moves in, he'll use his armor to cause a minor explosion and take on the enemy knights, while our own knights rush right through the enemy city. Alright, and then, by the looks of it, Nicolette will lead them just towards whatever enemies they can come into contact with. And of course, Mr. Alcassin is there. Wait, no, this is Eustache, rather, is there to help out as well. Lovely. In the meantime, of course, while that's happening, our cantankerous Bellons will lead the men-at-arms, as well as all the brigands, into the enemy settlement. And we'll start going down the ramp and attacking them from this side while we work away at the enemy lord, hero, etc., etc. And at least Boris is here to fight, even if Karl isn't. Gonna get a Pit of Shades out. The enemy has been forced to blob up by virtue of the repeated summons of the zombies from Raised Dead. And while trying to get to them, we'll use the, well, obviously non-overcast, because we can't overcast with Mr. Mallobaude. Pit of Shades upon them. And just continuing, sort of going back and forth with our Black Grail Knights here. Trying to get to the point that we can actually attack Boris. Unfortunately, with all of our units blocking each other, it's been hard to actually hit Boris. Although he probably won't survive more than a couple of hits anyway, so this is sort of prolonging his time on field, so he should be grateful, is what I'm saying here. Halberdiers and greatswords alike attempting to hold off our Knights of the Black Grail, or Black Grail Knights, rather. Well, and some Knights of the Black Grail, but anyway. And either way, none of that is going to succeed. We've got our brigands who have now taken up position on top of the, sort of plateau here, and are firing their projectiles down on the enemy below. 42 missile strength, pretty solid. And a lot of that's armor-piercing missile damage, because these guys are crossbows, which is much needed and pretty darn effective here. Great swords pin-cushioned and destroyed the piles of summoned zombies still holding off the enemy, and allowing our brigands to do the work. And it looks like our Black Grail Knights have destroyed the enemy platform, though by the looks of it, they barely even needed to. Boris is now in a direct fight with Mallobaude. and loses about half of his HP in 2 hits. And it looks like the rest of his army, or what remains of it, is not going to be on the field for too much longer. It does look like Mallobaude and his Hippogriff do get distracted by the pile of infantry here, but that's alright as... Ooh, Boris does bring down with the Black Grail Knights. Good for him. But our White King was there to help out anyway, and it looks like with that, we're gonna get one more explosion out of Mallobaude's armor, and ooh, there we go, sending plenty of enemy units flying as he loops back through the enemy. But I'd wager the enemy is not sticking around, as with that, they shatter, running into a vortex and the battle is ours. Fantastic. Alright, well, that was, let's say, a pretty decisive victory. Ooh, look how the mushrooms in the background here kind of match the balefire stuff. Kind of a similar glow. But anyway. Alrighty, there we go. No problem at all. 10 losses, and I think a lot of that was actually friendly fire to the cantankerous Bellans from the various brigand units. One of which at 272 kills. One of the mounted brigands did fantastic, though not anywhere near close to matching Mallobaude with that sort of cane vortex of his. Anyway, 5.7k sack. I'm thinking we sack this for economy because, well, we can also trade this away to, yeah, you know what, occupy it. And we will trade it to the Wood Elves. Oh, we can't build a military structure at tier 2, so it's probably not going to be worth much. But maybe it'll be worth something. Anyway, Reichland destroyed. Oh, wow, I didn't think that was their last territory. Alrighty, well, sucks to have been them. You are worth 4.2k. We could do a trade agreement with them for it, but we also... Yeah, we'll just trade it to them next turn. We'll take it. I would have preferred to be able to trade it for Paravon, but I don't think that they would be willing to give it to us. Just out of curiosity. 27 and 27. Actually, their territories are fairly cheap, so if we get a territory adjacent to Paravon, we'd probably be able to get it from them without a direct conquest, but we'd need to be able to offer them other territories, which is, again, kind of just an issue. But anyway, not our problem right now, because we have our fingers in a lot of pies or whatever. You can go here in 2 turns now? 1 turn. Swovely. Alrighty, and ooh, while we're here, we have a little bit of cash, so could upgrade some stuff here. Oh, you know what, we should upgrade this. The City Watch here in Toran, like. Do it. And we might as well start investing in it. It's a green territory and we've already fortified it, so we may as well take advantage of having done so and the sort of lesser likelihood of the place getting destroyed, so we'll do that. This place we will not invest in right now. Where are we here? Not in Azgaraz, but here. We have the Lichard, we have our new Necro, which needs to go join Jasper, because otherwise Jasper can't heal, because his army is just healing super slowly. Aha! We got Wolfric the Wanderer, who's been... Oh.
I have all the masters I need.
Now, I would love to attack with Veronique, but then... Oh. Really? Oh, man. Alright, well, we don't want Veronique to fight 2 armies at once right now. Damn it. We could land at Dietershofen, but there's no guarantee that we can actually do it, and... Yeah, you know what? It's probably better to attack by land, wouldn't it? Were you at war with Karak, Longi, Baston? Okay, that's us, and... Oh, you were with the Man-Eaters. I wonder if we could bait you into this somehow. Like, land here in Wrecker's Point. These guys won't like the trespassing, but they hate us anyway, along with everybody else, so... Alright, you know what? Land here, then. These guys can't reach us. We will not suffer attrition here because we are immune to it. We won't heal either, but that's fine. We can go into a stance to heal. Oh! We've de-chaosified this enough so that we're good here. Okay, first of all then, build the guardhouse because we do need it. And... I mean, we could do a snail hunting ground as well. Would have been nice for a Lichard, but anyway. I guess we could start fighting the rats, or we could just... Oh, good lord. You need to channel as well. You need to heal and you need to channel. I wonder if we could whop this necromancer between these 2 armies for a bit. It's only something to think about. It does also look like we have a big old ruin barrier between us and these guys. They're currently still focused on the Disciples of the Moss, Sylvania, and this land. Yeah, with the Sword of Cain at -40, and possibly a Nemesis Crown for another -60, it's going to be impossible to be friends with anybody. Should be able to be at 0 with our vassals, though, at least there's that, but... Well, it's just what you have to do in the name of fun sometimes. Anyway, I believe we're good to skip the rest of this. We have moved everybody along. Minus you and you. Okay, Grave Robber, you need to Steel Tech again.
Follow me.
Actually, you can wait until next turn. And Cedric's stuck. And Akasan, you need to upgrade stuff, but we can't afford it right now, so it's end the turn. I'm actually surprised that neither Throt nor Arbal immediately decided to declare war on us. Gotta give credit to Karl for taking out Arbal in the last, in basically his, well, second last fight, the last one being us. He did a good job. Nice little final spit in the face of the Chaos Gods. Anyway, Servant Life or Death. Casualty or Punishment Rate 10, Immunity to Psychology for Peasants. Very nice. We are then going to go for... I don't really care about the recruitment cost right now because we won't be able to recruit for a while, and there's no other economic stuff other than the Swamp Air training and the other farm thing. It's just that the 5% is really not that much. Although the construction time would save us some time. Ooh, we have infused Tireless Hordes for the campaign movement range, so that's pretty valuable. Yeah, you know what, let's get infused Tireless Hordes. Master of the Dead for all lords is also quite a nice thing to have, although it kind of uselessifies Necromancer lords because they already have Master of the Dead, and then taking that away from them is, you know, unfortunate for them. But it is what it is. Also got that spread vampire Kevin, so we may actually have to rely on our vassals for trading partners and such, considering we were going to make everybody hate us. But for now, we'll infuse those tireless hordes. The peasants also being hordes, but not tireless, but, you know, get them anyway. And, wait. Are you telling me that there's no... Huh. Wait, do we not have access to any landmarks? I thought that we would be able to build Blood Keep. Ah, that's a shame. Anyway, you can have this territory. Wait, are we still in this territory? Okay. I want Throt's Nemesis Crown just because it's funny. You don't need to channel, so go this way. Keep an eye on those rats. They certainly have sent a lot of armies down here, and they are allied with Arbal. Yeah, and the fact is, since they're allied with Arbal, we'll need to keep an army down here or he'll immediately reclaim these territories. Also, I fear we can't collect the income here because of the massive Skaven corruption. Yeah, I'm gonna need an army down here. Alright, fine. And then Jasper, since you're waiting for your Necromancer anyway, I think we'll send you down here. If you want to fight some Cornates, you are welcome to do so. You need to heal, so we're gonna send you briefly down to our now, since we can't heal here.
What is your behest?
A little bit worried about these guys going after our territories here. Maybe I should just temporarily peace out with Throg while we fight everybody else. He'll still have the Man-Eaters to wipe out before he redeclares war on us, and if no more armies are nearby, we could deal with sort of consolidating these territories instead. Yeah, let's do that. Give us your money. Give us your money for peace. There we go. Alright. And what else do we have here? Nagaryth. Okay, now you are not happy about this sort of Cain thing, but you know who is. Also, you know what? I want to see the Western Provinces. Minus 96. Good lord. Minus 80 for military actions against Reichland? How did you get a minus 80? What? We took, like, what, 2 military actions against Reichland? Like, not a lot, right? Because they were dead. We fought Karl. Okay, 3. We fought at Helmgard, we fought at Karak Azgaraz, and we fought Karl. Okay, 4 counting Elhart. Or 5 counting Ubers. I guess still not a lot. Shut up. Whatever. Let's just get used to everybody not wanting to be friends. Ooh, another island, though. I was tempted to go after Dastan Cold Eye.
But know this.
And you guys are war declarationable now? You are. Maybe fight to Dastan Cold Eye first. Should be fun for these guys. But I think we'll save that for next time. Yeah, well, I'm going to call the episode here. We're going to start next episode with attacking Dastan Koldai with Cedric, then moving back to Toranlek, and then taking Phoenix Gate real quick, probably auto-resolving it because there's nothing there, and just continuing to keep an eye on the Dread Fleet, but for now, if they're not fighting, then they're not fighting. I'm a little bit... I've been finding it a little bit unfortunate that these guys are not... really useful. We can't really grab their armies. I mean... I might confederate another one of these. Just keep one of them, whichever is developing better. And just for access to a few things, like we could have access to Grail Knights, although we do have Black Grail Knights in the first place. Or maybe a few other units. We do have our own Icon of Devotion as well, so we don't really need the Grail Reliques. But there may be a few things that we may want. Anyway, and then next time we'll try to go for Throth the Unclean and grab the Nemesis Crown. And just to get everybody on the map hating us. I wonder if we can unite the entire world against us, and I will keep wondering it, at least for now. Well, funnily enough, the Chevalier de Lyonesse like us well enough, but I'm pretty sure it'll... Oh, there's a landmark here. Oh, it's a harbor landmark, so it does make sense that we have access to it. But anyway, I digress. More Mallobaude to come, so stay tuned. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below. All glory to the algorithm. I don't know why I said it like that. And thanks for watching.